Today on Project TJ, we're going to change up these tired old seats. Hey guys, my name's Daryl Sheether and welcome to this week's edition of Project TJ. Seats. The seats in Project TJ are looking rather jaded, need updating, and the cheapest option would be to do seat covers. Bacharach do a really good seat cover, but they're $350 to $400 US. There's a few people who do a leather retrim kit where you take off the cloth covers that are on and put on a new leather, pre-made leather cover that's to your specifications of colour and stitching, or replace the seats completely. It's fors and against for everything. The seat covers, I wanted something that I could just wipe down if there was a spill on them, and I've had cloth for ages, so it'd be a leather or that type of material. The problem, I've had leather in a lot of cars, and the problem I have is after a while, no matter how well you keep it, the bolsters do get creased and the like, and taking off the leather, taking off the cloth covers and replacing them with leather covers, I've seen them look really good and I've seen them look okay. Replacement seats, locally I've looked at Recaros because I've had them in the past and they're a really good seat, but for their base model cloth seats were $2,500 Australian each, plus fitting. They don't sell a base plate for the TJ that I can find, so I'd have to be fabbing up my own one. So what I've settled on is some Corbeau Trailcat Seats. Now, they were $850 US plus shipping, plus base frames, but they're a bolt-in solution. I have bought seat heaters with them. They're not installed at the moment, but the seat heaters come as a package. I don't have a bulldog clip tool to get into the seats at the moment. Couldn't find one in the time frame I wanted to fit them, so we'll fit the seats today and pull them out. There's only 4 bolts that hold the seat in, and fit the seat heaters at a later date. Why have I gone this way? I had a quote locally from a leather retrim place to retrim the seats. To retrim the seats in leather with seat heaters and diamond stitching like these were $3,500 Australian. So it's fairly exy. These won't be a lot less by the time it's all done, but they're new seats, new foam. They're a little bit more supportive here. I didn't want a really deep side on the seats on the base because I find a lot of people that get in, and especially ladies that get in, find that's really tight. In my other car I have Recaro CS's, and I've had a few people comment that these are really tight to fit into. On those they're cloth, and I've also worn the bolster where you get in. These aren't leather, they're a vinyl, which means once you get over the is it leather or is it vinyl, which if you go and buy a Mercedes and they've got MB text, that is a vinyl, it's not a leather. So it doesn't smell like leather smells, which is a bit disappointing. However, for the price and for what the quality of the seat looks like, I'm fairly happy with them. I hope I'm happy when I put them in. So we'll see how we go. Now these are the base, this is a base frame. Basically, we pull the old seats out. There's 4 bolts for that. I think there's 4 or 6 to undo the seat from the existing base frame. This base frame attaches to the existing one and we bolt the seat to that. So simplicity itself. The only problem I can see is we may be sitting an inch higher, but it depends on how high the squab is here too. Another drama that I've come into too, and why I'm not fitting the seat heaters at the moment, is that on the Alpine deck that I've got, I have always had it in the back of my mind that I would use their truck accessory where you can get your auxiliary switches on screen. Unfortunately, it appears as though with the European version of the Halo 9, that's not an option to me. I've been in contact with Alpine reps in Australia and it's not working. I have looked at just buying one and seeing if it'll work, but when I look into the menus on the Alpine deck, the menu that I need for that accessory isn't there. So at the moment I'm just looking at what switchgear is available for the car. I'm after something is seamless and fits in well. There's a couple of things I've got my eye on. There's an S-Pod. ARB do a link system, I think it is. And there's some cheaper versions of those, but I was looking at the S-Pod or the ARB system for that. But anyway, that's for another day. It's like going down the rabbit hole, isn't it? It's like, yeah, we'll put some seat heaters in, but I don't want to use the switches that they come with, and maybe if I buy this switch setting where I can put all my accessories through, and another $1,000 is gone. Yeah, Jeeps, don't you love them? Now after we get the seat out, there's 3 bolts on this side we have to take out. And flip it on the other side. Now with this out, we have to remove the 4 bolts holding the sides on. And now we have to reroute this cable. Ran into a small issue. This is for the rear seat passengers to move that with their feet to tilt the seat forward. There's a bolt here in the mechanism that was too long to go over the hump on the subframe, so I've had to put a shorter bolt on that. So traps for the unwary. Now with all that bolted together, we should be able to mount the seat back onto the subframe. Oh, that subframe is so damn heavy. Now I've got the base frames fitted to this, it was a real pain doing the last 4 cap head bolts that Corbeau supply. There just wasn't enough room, so we had to modify and make our own shortened Allen key. Something to keep in mind. So both seats are now in. The second one went in a lot easier than the first because I knew all the tricks. Pretty happy with them. I've also done a couple of modifications already, or one major one. I found the squab quite flat after first driving it. I came home and put a couple of washers under the front mount, and even though it doesn't seem much, it has lifted up the squab enough to give you some support under your knees. So that's made the driving position a whole lot better. With regard to the height that these things are compared to the original seats, I did measure the driver's compared to the original passenger's seat, and it's about 20 mils higher. I think you're also getting some height because these things are quite firm, being brand new, and the original seats, being 13 years old, you actually sank into them a lot because it was compressed. So we'll see how they go. They are a lot firmer than the OEM suits, but again, they're brand new. We'll see how they wear in. They look awesome. They've changed the car completely and given it a much more upmarket look. Very happy with them. They do have to come out again. I do have to paint the rusty mount part, I do have to put in the seat heaters, and I do have to put in new seat belts. So overall, the inside is coming up a treat. I think you'll agree. So that's it for another week, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget some merch, and we'll see you again.